Yo, 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 it's D.Arthur in the building. I'm talking to you guys today about the longer you hold your seed, the better your life gets. Is there a correlation between holding your seminal fluid and then having, let's say, a better life? And when I say better life, I just mean like a life that's just more free flowing, like you're just lighter on your feet. You tolerate less. It's just more of a fun type of life. It's almost like a movie, like created type of life. This is the type of experience that you'll start having once you start going on a little bit longer, long-term retention. Everything is more easy flowing. Like I said, if problems start to arise in your life, you're on retention. You're operating from a higher set of maybe expectations, maybe set of beliefs. So the things that really tend to happen to you don't affect you as much. They don't affect you as much. This is what tends to happen to you when you go on longer days of retention. Now, the opposite is if you relapse consistently, if you're just relapsing and relapsing and relapsing, letting go your energy, what's really gonna start happening is there's gonna be a compound effect of maybe negative things start happening to you. You might start realizing and the thing is, the reason this starts happening is because of the negative aura, you can call it vibration, you can call it all these words, but basically the negative energetic display that you're offering to the world. And like I said, the law of attraction says whatever you give out is what you get back. So what tends to happen to you when you relapse, you become more negative, you become fearful, pessimistic, mediocre. You're probably in a scarcity type of mindset. So the things that happen to you, bad things that may happen to you, they might affect you a lot harder when you start relapsing, when you're preoccupied with lust and relapsing. If you relapse consistently and maybe unfortunate things start happening to you, it's going to affect you 10 times as much. It's going to affect you 10 times as much. But if you're offering a higher vibration, if you're just genuinely happy, regardless of your situation, you're still just displaying a very positive attitude, the things that happen to you won't affect you as much. You're lighter on your feet. You're displaying faith. You have abundance. You have an abundance mindset. You have a positive mindset. You have a charismatic mindset. You have a go-getter mindset. And so yeah, the longer you retain, the higher you will go. Like I said, if you were on day 1 of retention and then you went on day 365 and you actually did retain it in perspective, like your life, people might not recognize you. You might be totally something different. Your values are probably a little bit different. You probably tend to try new things, and your whole life just might be very just different in just how it is. Your energy might be different. Your mood might be different. Your values, your perspective, your life just tend to be different. Your mindset is different. You're a whole brand new, different type of person when you decide to retain and you decide to put some action behind the things that you want in life. You finally decide to put some action. The longer you go, the higher you will retain. So is it really worth it to relapse? It may not be that worth it, because the thing is, us like more spiritual, higher abundant, higher vibrational people, they're not as attracted to. They're still attracted, but they're not attracted to just the physical features. They're attracted more to the feminine attitude, the vibes, the feminine, the feminine energy. That's what they're more attracted to. Like the hourglass shape, the hourglass shape is, I mean, obviously it's something that guys like, it's something that it puts your a woman's foot in the door, but they're not basing their decision based off just how they look. They could or they couldn't, but it really just comes down to the type of feminine vibes that they're pretty much getting off of a certain type of woman. This is how more enlightened, more higher vibrational like people tend to make their decisions. They don't make it based off solely off lust, because lust is off of lower vibration. Because lust comes and goes, but the spirit is forever. So I mean, we start making decisions based off a person's attitude and how feminine they are. This is pretty much how higher valuable men start making their decisions. And like I said, the longer you retain, the higher you will go. The longer you retain, the higher you will go. The more your natural charisma will start shining through the roof. People will naturally like you. You'll be naturally attractive to people. You'll be a natural leader. And the reason why you become a natural leader is, I mean, because semen is masculine energy. And since you have a lot of that in you, your behaviors tend to become more masculine, and women are attracted to this. You just become more. When you're walking, you also have to. If someone is in the same room as you and you're on semen retention, you explain yourself less. I mean, you're not totally silent, but you don't really have to explain yourself as much. Everything that you say is considered good when you retain. Everything that you don't say is also considered good. It just makes you less likely to have to explain yourself, because you're finally just holding a masculine frame that is attractive to men and women alike. So yes, make sure you're on retention, and once you're on retention, just make sure that you're becoming, like I said, you're becoming a higher vibrational person. Because like I said, the higher vibrational you become, the easier your life becomes. Things don't affect you as much. You're not affected by things, regardless of things happen to you. You're just giving off a very you're giving off a higher perspective on life. So things don't really, like I said, things do not affect you as much. Your life tends to change. You start taking more action. You start taking more initiative. You start developing a different type of beliefs. You start just becoming a well-rounded 2.0 version of yourself. And men and women naturally find this to be more attractive. You develop deeper relationships with people. You can connect with people. You have higher emotional intelligence. You're an empath. You're an empath. You're just if you're in sales, you might notice that your sales might shoot through the roof if you're on semen retention. If you're in customer service or jobs like that, or any job really, maybe you're a server or something like that, you just notice that a lot of the things, you can interact with people a lot easier. When you realize you overthink, you get brain fog, and you're not as attractive as you can really be. You're not returning to your authentic self. You're returning to your physical self, and this is a problem. This is a very big problem if you decide to relapse consistently. So make sure you're retaining consistently. The more you retain, the higher you will go. You will live in a divine-like state of mind. Like I said, regardless of anything that's currently happening to you, you are still displaying an attitude of faith and gratitude, regardless of what you're going through, because you know things will get better. You know things can't stay the same. Things always have to change. You're constantly evolving. You're constantly changing. You're constantly evolving into something that you're becoming. And this starts to show more when you go on retention. It just starts to show a lot more. like I said, you become the best 2.0 version of yourself, and now you're more likely to attract all the things that you want. Maybe it's monetary status, maybe it's deeper relationships with women, maybe it's deeper relationships with your peers or things like that. You just become a more authentic and attractive version of yourself when you decide to go on retention. And the reason why this pretty much is because like there's a lot more dopamine in your brain. So even if bad things happen, you still have a positive mindset regardless of what is happening around you. And I mean, you tend to get the better end of the stick when you retain and you plan accordingly. So yeah, if that video made sense, like the video, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.